Now, I do want to do an in-depth video essay about Rise and the evolution of the Monster Hunter franchise as a whole, but today it's just a quickie review, so let's talk about Monster Hunter Rise, the latest game in Capcom's amazing Monster Hunter series. Monster Hunter Rise comes right after the roaring success of Monster Hunter World, which brought so many amazing new people into the community and into the franchise, and it has big shoes to fill. What I want to tell you is, it filled them. It filled them really well. It took everything that worked in World and cut out the fat, cut out the things that didn't work, the little bits and bobs that felt unbalanced or unfair, where monsters would just combo you to death, and just added a few tweaks to have that high-speed, high-mobility combat, but that DNA of the original Monster Hunter, where it's all about that flow, that in and out. And they did it using wire bugs. Wire bugs make the Clutch Claw look like a children's toy. The fact that they allow you to traverse the world so dynamically, running up walls, running along walls, jumping off walls to attack monsters mid-combat, combined with these Silkbind attacks, the amazing attacks that then let you mount and ride the Wyvern, fusing the old ride mechanic from Monster Hunter 4 with the Clutch Claw bonk mechanic from Monster Hunter World Iceborne into this amazing sort of dynamic system where you can sort of choose what you want to do once you mount the monster. Do you want to go and damage another monster? Do you want to bonk it off the walls to get damage on this monster because it's your target? Do you want to bonk it into another monster so that you can ride the other monster to do damage to this monster? There's just so much you can do with Silkbind. But my favorite thing about wire bugs is the most innocuous and smallest thing that they do, which is the wire fall. The wire fall takes away those nonsense kills where you get comboed to death, because if you get launched by an attack, you can wire fall evade out of the way. It makes you feel so ninja. And not one of those lame ninjas who just stands there doing weird symbols with their hands. I'm talking proper ninja. Monster hits you hard, you can wire back into combat and smack the monster with an aerial move. He thought he launched you away. Nope, I'm back in if it didn't do enough damage. If it did too much damage, get out of there, get healed up, get back in. It's phenomenal. It really does take the combat to the next level. It's awesome. So the combat in this game is phenomenal, and the most important thing in Monster Hunter is the combat, which means this game is already a win. But it doesn't end there. The art style and the village that you are based in are beautifully designed, both from an aesthetic perspective and a mechanics perspective. Everything is close together, but the village doesn't feel tiny. Everything is easy to access from wherever you are. If you're in the guild hall, if you're in the main area, if you're in the buddy plaza, you can always get around just by hitting minus on your map and choosing where you want to teleport to, and it's almost instant. No more running around looking for the guy or looking for the food. No, it's right there. It's super quick, it's super compact, and it's really neat, but at the same time, it looks amazing. They've really gone out there with the aesthetic. It's very, very Japanese based. Obviously, this team does seem to like to do that. They did Monster Hunter Portable 3rd and Generations as well. They do like the hyper Japanese aesthetic, and I think it works really, really well in this game where you are defending Komura Village from the Rampage. Now, I advise every single player play through the village quests of this game before they touch the online at all, because the village quests have been perfectly paced to be basically the ultimate Monster Hunter tutorial, both for new players and old players getting back into the franchise, and old players who never stop playing with World. The village quests are going to be the best way to start your game. Now, I beat this entire game in the last 6 days. I've no-lifed it for over 45 hours, and I've had an absolute blast of a time. Now, with the Rampage, the new mechanic, it's something I never knew I wanted. I have always disliked the large, lumbering monster quests a la Lao Shan Lung, the first example of one of these nonsense quests that is not a hunt. They are just wailing on a big monster with a weapon for 25 to 30 minutes until you kill it, stop it from getting to the gate, and maybe you Dragonator it once if you can be bothered. It is not a good time. They've taken that idea of monster approaching fortress, got to defend fortress, and they've turned it into almost a mini game. It doesn't feel like Monster Hunter until the boss at the end, which then feels very Monster Hunter. But until then, it feels like a tower defense game. You're forced to use the artillery because the hunter can't take on 4 monsters at once. Wailing on them with your weapon is not efficient. You want to get on those artillery guns, fire away, set up your auto towers, have a great time, and then at the end, the counter signal goes off. All of a sudden, your hunter is doing 10x damage, and you fight a super monster. It is the best way they've ever done these defend the fortress. I never want to see the old school defend the fortress brought back. This is it. This is how it needs to be done forever. Now, there are some downsides to this game. Obviously, this is not a G game, so we don't have a G rank. We have quite a small pool of monsters. It's not tiny, but it's much smaller than World and Iceborne, although we will be drip-fed DLC. And, yeah, that's about it. That's the downsides. I don't have any more downsides. I could go on about the upsides for weeks. The fact that the quality of life is even better now with Argosy trading replacing the farm, and it's much more efficient and easy and obvious. We've got the new food system with the buns, and they're awesome because every bun tells you what the odds of activating the skill are, what skill they activate. You can make your combo, and then you've got saved combos that you can save so that if the buns didn't show up in this cycle, you can still have the skills that you wanted to use using the saved combo because you saw them once. Our awesome weapon designs are back. I could go on and on. Things like that. Just awesome quality of life stuff that makes the game just flow better. And that's the important thing. It just needs to flow better. Here's the thing. Monster Hunter Rise is a phenomenal game. You should play it. I want to make a video essay of in-depth history of Monster Hunter and how Rise fits in there and why I think it's the best game. And I will, right? Like, I'll make that video essay if you want it. Comment down below. But until then, all you need to know is that this game is amazing. It makes you feel amazing. And I hope you will all be playing it on release because I know I will with a brand new account and I'm going to be playing with all of you guys. It's going to be awesome. See you there.